myślę, że jeżeli człowiek znajduje swoje miejsce na ziemi,
When you've found your very own place on Earth, it's hard to say what's fascinating about it. It's like love. How can you say exactly what you've fallen in love with?
Mateusz Shimura is a tourist guide. He's taking his group deep into a biosphere reserve. Only here, in this primeval forest, are there so many species of bird in one place. He learned from his father what really impresses the city dwellers, this tree fungus, for instance. Shimura tells them it's 7 years old and hard as wood. Everything here grows any way it wants to. Because this is classed as a primeval forest, people aren't allowed to change anything.
It teaches me obedience, that nature has its own plan. It doesn't have to agree with mine. It's hard for humans to accept that nature takes care of itself.
Bialowieza forest is in easternmost Poland. It's considered Europe's last remaining primeval forest, and it's been a national park for 90 years. UNESCO has declared it a World Heritage Site to protect the 20,000 species of flora and fauna that live in it. The king of the forest is the European bison. A few animals are kept in an enclosure for tourists to look at. In contrast, its population in the wild, unique in Europe, has increased to 900 in the past few years. And the region around Bialowieza markets itself with the bison. The town lies on the edge of the forest. Almost all of its 2,000 residents earn their living from the tourist industry. But not all the people here are profiting from having a national park at their front door. Farmers in particular are dissatisfied about the economic losses they incur because of the strict environmental protection regulations. Alexei Boyko wanted to build a stable on his land, but the community wouldn't let him because it was too near the forest. And sometimes he can't harvest his crops because birds are breeding in his fields, or bison or deer are roaming in his wheat.
There's a great deal of damage. Animals destroy 90% of the crops that aren't protected by an electrified fence. They eat them or trample them. With a fence, which I have to check every day, there's half as much damage.
Mateusz Shimura is constantly discovering new spots to show his tourists. This primeval forest has been in existence for 12,000 years, since the last ice age.
Jest to miejsce, gdzie na przykład mogę
This is a place where I can literally hear silence. The silence far from civilization. This forest is unique in the world. It's my second home.
And every year, 100,000 tourists visit his home. In Bialowieza, nature protection and biodiversity are very well appreciated.